A warm welcome to the PlayPan Podcast. Podcast for good, fostering a culture of giving, one story at a time. I'm Kenneth Chu, your host for this journey. We'll be diving into the heartening stories that underscore how PlayPan cultivates a culture of giving. Together, we are redefining how we give back to society, making a difference through the power of play. Welcome, Wendy. Welcome to PlayPan Podcast. So maybe you can do a short introduction about yourself. What is your background? What were you doing? And how did you get involved with PlayPan?
Okay, hi. Hi, Kenneth. Thank you for having me on your show. My name is Wendy. I am a trained and practicing educational psychologist. I do volunteer in several community organizations, including sports for Paralympics. How did I get involved with PlayPan? One fine day, the two co-founders, which is Yvonne and Gary, Yvonne approached me one day and then she said, "Hey, you do events, right? And you do F&B, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And she says, "I've got this really big project. Would you like to join us?" I guess they need somebody on the ground as well to do operations, licensing. So at the same time, because she also knows that I do a lot of community work related to special needs, especially autism. So I guess it was only apt for me to be involved, and it's nothing new for me in a way. So that's how I got invited to join the team, and here I am.
Welcome. And I know that you are the director of PlayPan, and also you basically almost a lot of things are all handled by you, even the F&B. And all that stuff. So before all this, right, you were saying that you were involved with all the special needs. How did that come about? Like, what
happened at the beginning is that, okay, I started off as a social worker at YMCA. That was my first job. Subsequently, I joined MINDS as a special ed teacher. Then I moved on to be a psychologist at APSN, Tangling School. So I was the first psychologist of that school. Long time ago, I think it was 1999. Oh my God, yeah. And one thing led to another. I'm a bit impatient. I felt that the needs in the special education system is just not moving fast enough, or I feel that there were gaps. And this is like 20 years ago, of course, more than 20 years ago. I felt that there was a big gap between their graduation, which is about 18 years old, and what happens to them after that. And 20 years ago, there were not many services or training or employment opportunities for individuals with special needs. So I decided, hey, why not I do something else that's out of the box, that's not from psychology, but at the same time, I could integrate both my passion, which is psychology and special needs, with something that's business related and hope to move forward a little faster. So that's where I decided that, okay, I think I should embark on F&B. Family background actually was already in F&B, so it was just a natural progression. It wasn't like I started F&B out of nowhere. So I decided like, okay, I wanted to be a bit more hands-on in F&B, and that's where I started to employ special needs individuals. Some of them in the past were from APSN, and then subsequently now is mostly from ITE, or could be all clients of mine. They've all grown up, and parents may decide, would you like to just let my child try out to see if they're suitable? So that's how I basically married psychology, therapy, and F&B. Yes.
So you kind of found a sweet spot for you, or what a lot of people now say, ikigai, right?
Yeah.
And then you're passionate about, and you can marry something with purpose, and that become also your business, right, into F&B.
Correct.
Why particularly in F&B?
Okay, why particularly in F&B? First of all, it wasn't, like I mentioned earlier, it was a family business, so it wasn't like I had to start brand new. So there was already a foundation. I just basically maintained and tried to sustain the business. Okay, why I felt that psychology, therapy, especially for special needs, is related to F&B is the social skills part. if you think about it, therapy is always done within the four white walls.
Yep.
How much social skills do you think a client can actually learn
Yep.
or apply or generalize? I think most special needs kids, yes, they do need structure. They need a handbook of the do's and the don'ts. But what about practice? They have very limited opportunity to practice. So I felt that F&B is real life. You get to practice real communication skills with the customers, with your colleagues, with suppliers, and you get to communicate in real life, and you learn real daily living skills and social skills. Give you an example. If you notice, schools don't teach you what to do with a paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know check is going to be
obsolete
next year, but like I said, this is like, 15, 20 years ago. I remember giving a check to the special needs kids, and they didn't know what it was, and they kept it in the pocket. So this is life skills. Yes. This would never happen to a normal person. Yeah, and they kept it in the pocket, and I remember the parents calling me out like, why didn't you pay my kid? And like, no, that was like a long time ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago. So this is what I meant. What is in the books, what is done in the education system does not necessarily apply or cover all grounds. So that's why I felt that F&B gives any special needs or anyone who wants to learn more about communication, interaction, social skills, life skills, planning skills. Actually, F&B has got lots of skills that you can learn and develop.
And organization skills, right?
Organizational planning, like when you're cooking, you need to know what comes first, what comes second, improves your memory, multitasking, if there's 3 orders coming in, you need to memorize them.
How you prioritize.
Wow. And remember which customer ordered what. They learn money skills as well. They learn time skills. All these are taught in school. But
there's no place to apply.
Where are the opportunities? Yes. We do not want, or I personally do not want the special needs community or families to think that, once they graduate, what else can they do besides cleaning or mopping the floor? I think that is not true. They can definitely do more than just sweeping and mopping the floor or washing a toilet. Yeah.
So in that case, right, when you say that it's so complex, right, like a lot of things in F&B, so what are maybe the primary steps or the baby steps for them to start off with? For example, serving drinks or remembering orders, when now there's a lot of kiosks, right? So what are the primary skills in F&B that they can execute?
Okay, first of all, actually, we need to look at the cognitive ability. So that's where psychological testing comes in. So usually when we receive a case, we would like to know some kind of a background. If there's a psychological report to give us an indication of the cognitive ability of that individual would be helpful. So usually we don't want to scare them. They need time to adapt. They need time to adjust and to get to know everybody and the structure of the company. So usually they start off by doing kitchen work, which is like cutting, preparing of sauces, packing, measuring food, and then repack to prepare for the next day. That's what they usually do. And from there, we see whether 2 things, stamina, whether they can stand. Yes. So cognitive ability does not equate to physical stamina.
Strength, right?
Right? You need to stand for a minimum of 9 hours with intermittent rest and, of course, a lunch break. So most of them, even normal people, may not be able to stand.
That's right, even for retail staff, right?
Yes.
Stand the whole day.
Standing. So we're looking for physical stamina. Okay, so that's the first thing we look for. Attitude skills can be taught. So that part, we're not worried.
Physical, you can't.
Physical, I can't teach. Unless I say, can you go to the gym every day? Something like that. Or can you run 10 miles before coming to work? So first thing is physical strength. Second thing is fine motor skills. To do cutting and to hold a knife, to hold a pair of scissors, you need to have some kind of a fine motor control. So we look out for fine motor skills because we don't want them to cut themselves or to injure themselves. Then it becomes a phobia. Then they won't come back to work tomorrow. So physical stamina, which is gross motor skills, balance, etc., plus fine motor skills, I think that's the most basic. Because once you have this 2, skills can always be taught. And even if that person has poor memory skills, we can write down, we can print pictures, we can do a A4 size step by step, print onto the kitchen wall. So that's not an issue, right? Because without gross motor strength seminar plus fine motor, you realize you cannot move to the front service because you need to carry the tray, serve the food, clean the tables while maybe still balancing a tray.
Yeah.
So you see why we usually start them off in the kitchen to see whether...
Behind the scenes,
Correct.
the preparation.
And then once they adapt, they are a bit more comfortable, they are very jolly, happy to come to work, a bit more talkative. Then slowly we move them to
Level 2.
to level 2, which is the front. Even before that, actually, they have to start to do coffee. There's lots of things to learn, right? So you have hot kitchen and you have cold kitchen. So cold kitchen would be displaying cakes, cake chiller, cutting cakes, doing your coffee. And you know, coffee has got 10 different types of coffee, iced coffee. You have to remember what's a macchiato, what's an Americano, what is a long black, what is a, yes. So actually that's the second step. Then service.
Wow. So service is the last step.
Yes.
Is it especially for them or is more like a first step?
General, yes. Reason being because they are less capable, I wouldn't use the word not capable, but less capable of being able to solve an issue on the spot in case a customer asks them.
Yeah.
And customers in Singapore are very strange.
Yeah.
I've got customers asking me, where is the chocolate from? And I said, Europe. Then they will ask, which part of Europe? Yeah. Then I'll say, it has to be Belgium.
I get it. Like recently about salmon, right? They will ask, your salmon from where?
Yes. Yeah. Did you bake the cake yourself? And even if you tell them yes, may I know where is the central kitchen? The list goes on and on and on.
And maybe it will be a huge challenge for them.
Yeah. Because number one, they might not know. Number two, they're probably like scratching their head like, I'm just here to order food. Can you just order your food and be done with it? Why are you asking me so many
Yeah, they're thinking it might be more straightforward.
Correct. So that's one of the issues. Answering customers' queries.
Even more complicated.
Because these are questions that's not on the menu, right?
Even like normal people will scratch our head, right?
Yeah, like, boss, your cake chocolate come from which part of the world? What brand?
And they keep coming back to you more.
Yeah, so we had that. So that's the one reason why I wouldn't put them service as first. Second reason is because, like I mentioned, what you study in school is only a tip of the iceberg of the different or myriads of possible social scenarios that we encounter in a F&B dining area. For example, you are pouring water into a glass, an empty glass to fill up, to top up, and the customer's iPhone is there.
Oh.
Most of us use a bit of brains. We will move our iPhone first, right? But they have issues or fear of telling the customer, sorry, ma'am, can you move your phone? I need to pour water. It's just too many things to say, too many things to think about.
Just pour.
Yeah, so that one drop of water that just pops up from the cup onto the iPhone can be a very big issue.
That's true.
And then the customer may go berserk, and then
you have to come out and
why is your staff so incompetent, blah blah blah, even though we tell them that the person has a tag that says trainee, we work with special needs, and this is real life scenarios, real scenarios. They'll say, I do not care about your course. I pay a 10% service charge. I demand and expect a service. So I don't care where they're from or whether they're trainees. So Singaporeans in general can be very...
I think it's the customer.
Yeah, which is very sad. Yes.
No, I think this is where I see the reason why you have them with a step-by-step from the back of the kitchen, because in kitchen you still need to communicate with the chef, whoever, the colleagues over there, for them to build out the confidence, really speak up. And I think it's also a good time for you to access whether are they ability, the social skills is to the level that they can move to second level and then level 3.
Yeah, because at the second level, you are already facing customers, but behind the counter. So you are looking at the customers. At least you can see the dining area, something like that. Yeah, so it's
get them to be familiar with.
Correct. Yeah, confidence level is definitely very, very important. Yes.
Just now I realized that because we were talking like psychology and then with F&B, initially I couldn't understand how do you marry that, but you did that because you did use the terms in terms of serving the customer. What are the skills that's involved? I was like, wow, okay, that's how you marry them together.
Correct. Yes.
So in that case, how did your project play comes into in having this part of the hiring or even training them?
Okay, so PlayPan basically is a place to do good, right, and to make good for the community and for social reasons. So I felt that it was apt for me to therefore take up a unit whereby I can still manage the building to a certain extent and be around because, F&B has got really long hours. We open for at least 10 hours. So at least I could oversee what's happening in the building or Peace Center. At the same time, gives me something to do. I mean, I cannot be sitting behind a table for 10 hours just waiting for someone to pick up a key. So I thought it was apt because the opportunity was given, and just nice there was a corner unit that I could just move in without renovating. So that's where I thought it would be another opportunity for me to hire the kids as well as ex-prisoners as well. Yeah, and it's a safe place.
Yeah. Because the people here are coming in for good.
Correct.
You won't get those very, I would say, nasty people.
Yeah, or not so aware. So people know that you come in here, that it's a good cause. And even if they're nasty, I would definitely jump in and start explaining Peace Center. So to me, it's an opportunity for me to promote and to make awareness to the public, people who pass by Peace Center, to tell them more about PlayPan and what we do here.
Yeah. I think the one part is like food really bonds people together. And I see that you have a lot of different food varieties there. Even for those who want to drink, they also can drink. They want food, they can have food. And some of them like with more carbs and all that stuff. I think really to fill people up. And then at the same time, you can also explain the cost of PlayPan. And then also be one of you need to really provide food.
Yeah.
Because if you want to run events, you still need food.
You need food, yes. Otherwise, we have to cook it at the central kitchen and bring it here. So it's very, what should I say, convenient for the kitchen to be here. So I can just whip up whatever that's required and then just serve it at this building, which so it makes it important. It's a very important role because people need to eat. When you have events, you need to eat, you want to drink. Yeah, so that's why I decided.
They complement well.
Yes, yeah. And then there will always be something that someone needs, like a screwdriver,
When you have
whatever screwdriver, or you need.
Oh, because the event.
Yeah, because when events, in the kitchen, we will definitely have something. Someone might suddenly a pair of scissors. Do you have a pair of scissors? Yeah, of course we have a pair of scissors.
They will look for Wendy.
Yeah, so I guess it's the DIY central command place whereby people can come to if they need something.
So anything fine, Wendy.
Yeah, or no water, because some of the units here have no water. Something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Good to know that. So for your case, right, like because PlayPan together with Peace Center, which will be demolished end of January 2024. So what is your plan moving forward for Project Play, or you'll be moving it back to what you originally were doing, or do you have other plans for your Project Play?
Okay, personally, life will go on for me. I'll still do what I'm doing, which is continue to practice my psychology. I'll still continue to work for the community. I do have other existing F&B outlets that I still need to oversee. So that will be.
So this is just an additional.
This is just an additional. I look at it as a pop-up. It's a pop-up project. Yeah. So I do have permanent kitchen and a team of existing staff that has always been there. So that's life goes on. So for PlayPan, I think it is God's will moving forward, right? Because we need another very kind donor who could give us such a wonderful place, such a big space for us to carry on our project, our objective, our ideology. In 2024. So for listeners who are listening now, if you do know of someone,
a kind soul,
or a developer who may not have anything to do with a space for maybe 6 months, do let us know. Definitely, I think PlayPan, we put in a lot of effort, and we definitely would like to continue, but this is God's will. So if the opportunity arises, definitely I think we would like to continue. And even if it doesn't, still we should all continue to do good.
Yep.
And make good, and make every space that you live in and continue the journey good.
Yeah, I think the giving part will still continue because we have built a base of PlayPan community and we have become friends.
Yes.
And now from here, we will definitely have something to spin off, the collaboration, the opportunity, right? Because the more people that you know, the wider, the bigger your network is, the more opportunity you can grow in even doing good. And because of the founders, that's why I got to know you. That's why I got to interview you to understand your story and find out how did you marry that together. Like your psychology at FMB, which is existing thing that you've been doing, and something you're passionate about, and now you can contribute in any way. And it's just one of your pop-up that can add into a lot of cost that can support so many people. And then with your resources and network, I think this is something that the PlayPan community can benefit a lot from. So maybe before we wrap up, right, do you have any message for the audience that you can look at this camera and share with them? What message do you have? You can look at the camera here and share a message.
I feel that life is a journey. Whatever you do continue to do good. Every little effort, every little minute and time that you have given to the community and to the society, it will always be appreciated. You may not feel or receive the reward immediately, but sometimes it comes back to you in very strange and unexpected way, and it will make you tell yourself, I'm so glad I did good.
Thank you, Wendy, for sharing that message. I think that doing good, right, is really embedded in you. So moving forward, like we know that after January 2024 and end of January 2024, PlayPan will no longer be around. So if let's say for PlayPan, moving forward, what is so special about PlayPan? Because you've been from the beginning to now, what is so special about PlayPan that you yourself likes about it, that the more you want this to continue, or even for the community to benefit?
Okay, I think what really is important or essential to me after being here for at least 3 months is that this is a very safe place, and it's very it's peace center. It's like an asylum, you come here, you will have peace. Why? Because I think this is one place whereby there are no boundaries. When I meant no boundaries, I meant regardless of your sexuality, gender, race, age. If you were here last night during the event, you can see it's from as young as 3 years old to as old as 70.
Very diverse.
Very diverse ability or differentiated abilities, which is a new term for disability, differentiated abilities. You are always welcomed here, and you will not be judged. And the community will always come together to support you. And I think that is something that hits me the most.
Wow, that thanks a lot for sharing that. And what does it PlayPan means to you at the same time and means to a lot of people out there? Thanks a lot, Wendy, for these wonderful insights and also your sharing about what you do, how you marry it with your psychology, with your FMB business, and now contribute back and in the form of giving. So once again, thank you very much for coming on to PlayPan Podcast, and we will see you very, very soon and getting more involved. Thank you very much, Wendy.
Thank you very much, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Do join us on our social media. It's available in LinkedIn, IG, TikTok. Now, thanks to our team here, now we will even have our own YouTube and Spotify. So please do join us and help spread the word on how we can come together, play for good, and reimagine giving.